Today I want to make some pastrami from scratch. In my other videos I went to the store and I bought the packs of corned beef and then just did a quick rub on it and throw them in a smoker. But today I want to do them from scratch. I have a couple of brisket flats here, a 5-pound and a 4-pound. So let's get to it. First thing that we need to do to the brisket flat is trim off some of the fat. Now if this was a point, it'd have a whole bunch of fat. I just chose to do a brisket flat. It's easier for me. Some people say more fat, the tastier, but I'm lazy. So I'm just gonna trim this up real quick. Get any silver skin that there is on it. Okay, that's. Make sure you get all the silver skin off of this. Now the other side is the fatty side, the fat cap. So it might take me a little bit to get this one going here. Everybody has their own way of doing it. Some's hard, some's easy. Then you do the next one and it's completely different. Okay, I didn't take all the fat off. I left a very little bit. And there it is. So we're ready to go. The next step is to go ahead and make the brine and let the brine cool and then pop this in the brine and let it cure for about 14 days. I went ahead and trimmed the other brisket flat. So now we're ready to make the brine. We're going to make 2 gallons. This is not going to hold 2 gallons, so I'm just going to, I think this is a 2-quart pan. I'm going to go ahead and put all the spices in there, get it to a boil, and then shut it off and let it cool, and add it into my container that I'm going to cure the briskets in. So first, I'm going to add, this is going to be for 2 gallons of brine, and I'll put all the ingredients towards the end of the video. So this is 1.5 cups of kosher sea salt. And I'm going to use 1 cup of sugar. I chose to use raw sugar just because I had it. You don't have to. You can use brown sugar or the white sugar. It doesn't really matter. Then I'm going to pour the cure salt. That's the Prague powder number 1, 4 teaspoons. That's in there. And then I'm going to dump all the rest of the ingredients in there. I got crushed mustard, some bay leaves, a star anise, and cloves and juniper berries, along with some freshly ground pepper and freshly ground coriander, and then about 8 to 10 cloves of garlic. All right, I got all the ingredients in here. Let me start off with 1 quart of water. All right, I'll be back in a few. All right, I've had the brine pan in the freezer for about an hour. Let's see what looks like. The temperature is right around 67 and this water is about 78, so let's see what happens there. Well, let me give it a good stir, and then let me take the temperature again. Okay, that's good. It's right around 67, 68. So I'm going to go ahead and put the brisket flats in there and stick them in the refrigerator. Okay, let me get these guys unwrapped. Hopefully the brine won't go over the top. That was the 4-pound one. Here comes the 5-pound. I'm barely going to make it. It doesn't even look like I have to I was going to put a plate on top to weight it down. Well, I'll just keep an eye on it. And if it does float to the top, I'll go ahead and throw a plate on there. Okay, I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator for about 14 days. And then we'll get into how to prepare it for the smoker. See you in 2 weeks. All right. The briskets are all done soaking and rinsing in fresh water. I think I got them patted dry enough. So now the next thing to do is add the rub. All right, now time for the rub. And my rub is basically coriander, freshly ground coriander seeds and black pepper and just a little bit of garlic powder and paprika. I'm using the smoked paprika. There it goes. So now I'm just going to lay it on one of the Bradley racks I have here. And that's going to go into the refrigerator. Let me get the other one done here. And like I said, my rub is it's real easy. I don't put like cracked peppercorn in this. I don't like chopping down on a sandwich and biting into a peppercorn. So I did the freshly ground peppercorns this morning and the freshly ground coriander seeds. And you can get fancy with this, you know, it's your pastrami, do what you want. Some people have even added cinnamon, star anise, and the cracked peppercorn like I said. But I'm just using ground coriander, ground pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, and some paprika, and that's it. I'll put the ratios at the end of the video here. I lucked out, there was just enough. So I'm going to get that into a tray also, or a rack. Yeah, I got a little bit of seasoning left. Okay. And that's it. And I'm going to put these back in the refrigerator uncovered so they can air dry. And the reason I want them air dry is the smoke adheres to it better. You know, whatever you're smoking, if it's dry, the smoke's going to adhere more. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow morning. All right, this is the day to get them in the smoker. I've had them laying out for about maybe an hour and a half to get up to room temp. So we're ready to go in the smoker. I got the smoker already preheated. And I'm going to put my iGrill probes in there. Now I already have one probe outside connected to the iGrill for the ambient temperature in the smoker. Okay, they're all ready for the smoker. Probes installed. The smoker's preheated. So let's get going. All right, I went ahead and put the briskets in the smoker. There it is. I got my drip pan, I got my rack that just holds the ambient temperature probe. Then I got the probe for the bottom rack and the probe for the top rack. And you've seen that earlier when I did that. And right now, I'm not sure if you can see that, the ambient temperature is about 175, 178. So let me close this so I don't waste any more heat. So my plan is to smoke this at 225 throughout, and I'm only going to smoke it for 4 hours, and when the internal temp gets about 160, I'm going to pull them and wrap them in foil and put them back in there until the internal temp is 200, or maybe 205. Then I'll pull them, bring them in the house, let them set, and then make sandwiches later. The time span on this is about 15 days already to make your own pastrami at home. I'm also using the hickory pucks today. I've got enough for 4 hours. That should be plenty of smoke. Okay, we're back in the house and I got the iGrill synced up to my iPad. You can see the ambient temperature is coming back up. You know, our ideal ambient is 225. And I set a range for I think 215 to 235. And there's the top rack. I already have a preset for the smoke, and I'm having the alarm go off at 160 degrees. And here's the bottom rack. Bottom's about 20 degrees higher. I'm not sure why that is. I may have it the probe stuck in a thinner piece of meat. I might have to go check that. Yeah, watching the temp remotely is a must. You'd be up and down every 5 minutes trying to keep that temperature right. So hopefully my alarm will go off at 160 degrees internal temp of at least one of them, and then I'll make adjustments. And my ambient temperature, if it gets too high, the alarm will go off, so I know to get off my butt and go out there and adjust the temp. I just went outside and wrapped them in foil and put them back in there. I want to make a note, it took 6 hours to get to 160. And we're gonna be eating here. We have some friends coming over in about 3 hours. So I've boosted the ambient temp up to 150 to 160. I'm hoping that's gonna be done, you know, right around 200 degrees by the time they get here. So they're neck and neck for temperature, 165 and 164. And again, that took 6 hours to get to 160. So I'm hoping to get 195 in about 3 hours. It's been 8.5 hours and my one on the bottom rack is done. So I'm gonna go out there and pull it. And also I raised the temperature a couple hours ago to about 250, you know, 240, 250, because I guess I think I got paranoid that it wasn't gonna get done in time. But I went back down because you can tell. But I chose to go back to the 225, 230 range. And everything's going to work out fine. So there's the bottom one. I'm going to go out there and pull it. All right, I'm going to put the finished one here. I'm going to let this first one just stabilize. I'm also going to put it into a hot and cool bag. One of these guys here. I picked them up at the dollar store. They work pretty good. I'll put it in there. Go ahead and seal it up. And get ready for the other one to put in there. All right, let's see what these things look like. I hope they're good. Well, they're still hot. Let's see here. It's juicy. Yeah, look at that. Is that good? Well, maybe I'll take it out of the... Still hot. And you want to cut this against the grain, and I forget which way it was going, so let me see here. Nice and red. Why don't you taste a piece of that? It's hot. I know. It's... Nice red color. They're good?
Tastes good. That's so juicy.
A little pepper bite.
Maybe because I think it's because maybe it's just thicker than most pastrami.
Yeah, I'm gonna
from
cut
the
a little
store.
thinner. Let's get some thinner cuts here.
It's hard unless you have a cutter.
It's good.
Looks good.
All right, that's it. So we're gonna make some sandwiches. Right? Got our bread, got everything. So total time, it took about 9.5 hours for both of them to be done. I know this one was done a little sooner, but just count on 9.5 hours. Well, this turned out really great. 15 days of brining and drying and then smoking was well worth it. This is really great. pastrami. And I made it my own. I didn't put a lot of cracked peppercorn on it, like in the commercial pastrami. I loved it. So if you make this, and I hope you do, put some other ingredients in there that you like. You know, don't try to just copy my recipe or others. Add your own ingredients for that rub, and also the brine. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more, make sure you subscribe up here and make sure you hit that bell notification icon so you won't miss any of my future videos. Also up here I have a playlist of all my smoking projects I've done over the year. Thanks for watching.